So last race of the morning before lunch, we've got heat of the Prince Albert Challenge Cup. We've got Oxford Brookes University B on the Berkshire station and Aberdeen University on the Buckinghamshire station.
Yeah, Brookes have got scattered entries all over the regatta and are probably favourites in 4 or 5 different categories. So this could be a historic regatta for Brookes. And you can just see here their B crew already squeezing out ahead of Aberdeen.
And they would look like they're into their rhythm now, don't they? They've come off that start, and just as we move down the course, they've started to capitalise on that margin as they move away from Aberdeen University.
I mean, as you watch Brookes row, they're the perfect combination of incredible physiology, you know, real strength and conditioning, married with delicate finesse. They row so well, and if you watch them there, they just sit there at backstops, they come forward, they catch the boat out front, and they move it along. There's no fuss, there's no histrionics at either end of the stroke. It's just very efficient, very easy, and the superlatives almost run dry with Oxford Brookes. Their programme is the envy of the world at this point, and to have a PA4 that's their B boat, you know, that probably means it's their potentially 8th, 9th ranked crew in the regatta, and they're still turning up on the Wednesday and dominating the opposition.
And what's even more challenging about these crews also being a Cox 4, they're having the front loader. You know, the Cox can't see the competitors. This is the kind of steering blind, I call it, when they're racing someone, because they can't actually see where they are if they're in front. But obviously just maintaining their line, that encouragement to the athletes, and there will be someone in the crew that is relaying where they are to the Cox. They're just aware of the margin they have.
Yeah, exactly. It's almost like you have that dual representation. The Cox who's doing the steering, and then, as you say, somebody in the boat who can see the race unfolding and communicate what needs to be done and when the moves need to be made. But Brookes in no real danger here. They're a couple of lengths clear, enjoying their row down the course. It's going to take a brave man to bet against Brookes going home without any silverware from Henley Royal this year.
Yeah, they've got great depth and talent in their system. That's why they've got so many different boats competing in the regatta. Obviously just not their men, they've got the women competing as well, so you know, it's great to see that the events at Henley have allowed the kind of introduction to more women competing here, which is great.
Yeah, the depth on both sides of their programme is astonishing. They've got quality right across the board. I mean, their PA A4 is arguably the favourite for this event, and their stiffest competition could genuinely come from their B4. That's the quality that we're dealing with here. And fair play to Aberdeen, you know, qualifying for the PA, getting into the main draw is no mean feat itself, but they've just come up against a superior opposition on the day, I think.
And I suppose it's always that tough draw, isn't it? You know, you kind of qualify the regatta. You'd love to have a round where you've got a chance of overhauling someone to get that winning feeling at Henley and then moving on. And then you see that tough draw, you're like, okay, how are we going to do this?
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
You could draw the eventual winners on day one. I've had experience of getting the eventual winners on day two. Just, you know, you turn up, you try your best, but ultimately you're never going to overcome that unless there's a freak incident. But you still enjoy the experience of coming up against top quality opposition. And I'm sure Aberdeen will be back next year with plenty of strength and plenty of added impetus.
But it's those stories of when they go back and they start telling the other students about what it's like, the experience, inspires them, motivates them, more numbers get into the sport, want to compete at Henley, and that's what it's about. It's that, it's the way that you pass on that information. It's kind of the legacy element of it, you know, that you've come here, you've done it, and you pass that baton to someone else.
Exactly, success breeds success, right? And success for many clubs and schools is just getting into the main draw at Henley. So ultimately, if Aberdeen can boat a crew on the Wednesday, yes, they're probably going to lose this race, but ultimately next year, they'll have that experience in the bank. They can build on that, like you say.
As they come along the regatta enclosure, obviously Brookes are still maintaining their lead. Brookes B, talks about the depth they have of talent. See the Cox hidden away in the front loader of the boat there. Just enjoying their time as they come past spectators. I'm sure some of them will have their own fans.
what a great time to have family and friends down watching you cruise to victory on the Wednesday of Henley Royal Regatta.
In complete control of this heat of the Prince Albert Challenge Cup, we have Oxford Brookes crossing the line ahead of Aberdeen University. So that was a win for Oxford Brookes University B over Aberdeen University in the heat of the Prince Albert Challenge Cup.